Hello people that know how's it doing. Today I just want to say something, and I suppose it is something extremely close to my heart. Because obviously I suffer with it on a daily basis. Obviously dyslexia, I'm talking about dyslexia here. And, it's often, I know people who just, come up to me and, say, you're useless, you can't do anything. And you just like to them, this is, what I'm doing here is more proof of the people with dyslexia, and I pointed it out to many people that I don't think they would be able to do it if they were in my situation. Because the one thing it takes, and I don't mean to brag or anything, but as I said to them, it takes guts. It takes guts to stand out and say, because there's some people in this world who just absolutely hate people with dyslexia. And you just like, they might not have great knowledge of subject, might not be able to learn to up to people's standards, but they're very intelligent. As you can see here, I'm very intelligent, which is true. I'm really very intelligent in day-to-day life and issues, and seeing the bigger picture, I suppose you could say, which is a good thing, which is always good, because nobody's normal. Let's put it that way. Nobody's normal. Everybody in this world is not. Nobody's normal. Like people say this, you're not normal, but who's normal? Nobody's normal. Everybody's has something, with them, or something wrong with them, or an issue with them, I suppose you could use that word. But it's how we overcome it. Like with dyslexia, I can't spell, and it was that. My grammar in titles of videos are absolutely terrible, and I actually have to laugh because I have to use voice translator, and it gets it hard to understand me because my voice is terrible and my accent is just messing me up all the time. Which I wouldn't want to see a Kerry person. Just to add that, I wouldn't want to see a Kerry person try to use Google Translator because good God Almighty, it probably blow up the whole country. I have to say, but I just say this to people with dyslexia. People who try and bring you down. People who try and, make you feel little. They're nothing but people who just are, just are too much, they think too much of themselves, let's put it that way. People with dyslexia have more right than anybody else to live in a society. They have the right to everything else the same as everybody else. They even have additional rights to help them with things. And there's sort of this country in Ireland, there's sort of way more support and way more time put into them. Like as I said, when I was a young fellow, I suppose I've said this so many times. When I was a young fellow, there wasn't much support for people with dyslexia, and you were just left there. You were just told, nobody cares, go away. And that's not too long ago. I'm not gonna lie to you, that's not too long ago. And that affected me now because I'm terrible. I'm absolutely terrible at maths. I can't do maths to save my life. But I wouldn't do it to save my life. I'd probably just be like, kill me, please. But the bigger picture is, you have to look at people with dyslexia, and you have to admire them, because it takes guts. It does take guts. Like when I tell you a story, this is story time, hashtag story time. But when I was in national school, I was the only person not doing Irish, right? And I felt left out, I couldn't do it. I tried so hard when I was younger to do it, and I couldn't do it. I honestly couldn't do it. I would love to learn it, but it's not in me to get a second. I can't do French. I suppose I'm except from French too, because I can't do it, because I can't understand any other language. Because it took me a long time when I was younger. It took a long time for me to understand English, because I was so isolated, I suppose, from the rest of the crowd, because everybody else in my school didn't have any problems with them. As I said, nobody's normal. That's the word I'm going to use. But, nobody else. So I was left out. I felt like the odd one out, the odd fish in the bowl, I suppose you could say. But it was terrible times when I was in national school thinking about that. Especially when I was younger, because that shaped me into the person I am today. Like, if people came up to me now, and as I said there, if they came up to me and said, you're dyslexic, you shouldn't be alive and the rest of this crack. Like, it's actually just stupid what people say sometimes. And I'm just like, I pay my taxes the same as you do. I have more right to be here than you have. And obviously, as many people have said to me, that, it takes a huge amount of courage. Like, I'm speaking here about my experience when I was younger. Like, it is a huge, huge thing to talk about. Especially because people probably shame me for it. Some people might shame me for it and say, you're a disgrace because you don't know Irish. Or, I know a good bit of Irish. I don't know much of it, but I know a good bit. Which is really not my fault, because I swear I have learned it. Tried to learn at least 2 or 3 years and I actually couldn't do it. And it's just like, it was just torture for me. And it was better off putting, especially with anxiety and depression hanging over me all the time. It was better to put them into other subjects, I suppose you could say, than to have myself all worked up for Irish in just one class every day, just working myself up because of Irish. And, making myself feel terrible, because it did make myself feel terrible, because, looking at everybody else doing Irish and the teacher come around to you and say something in Irish and you just like, and everybody else could add something, I felt terrible, and I might as well say the truth. But, everything can be overcome. There's nothing in this world that can't be overcome. But it does take time, it does take effort. As I said to people with dyslexia, you should hang your brightest colours up, because you should be proud of who you are. Because dyslexia is, again, proud of us, I suppose you could say too. But it kind of defines us, because it makes us who we are. And as you can see here, dyslexia has a huge impact on me, because I can't write things up on Twitter, I can't write things up on Facebook, I can't do anything. Because unless I use voice translator, which takes me long time, because I can't understand what I'm saying half the time into it. But it does take a lot. I'm not going to lie to people, it is very hard. And I just say to people, help you, if your friends have learning disability, dyslexia, try and help them. Like, there's so many of my friends help me, and I really, really, as I said, my friends have come through hell and back with me. And from the bottom of my heart to all my friends, it's just, I'm sure they know myself, because I really, really do appreciate it. Like, even helping me with the smallest thing is just unbelievable stuff. And just to say to people, as a documentary I watched what Michael Collins said, hang up your brightest colours and dry away the tears. Because we are who we are. And we cannot change it. Life is such a precious thing. I could go on forever. We only get one life. We have to enjoy it. And to hell with the conduct with the people who say, you have no right to be alive, or you have no right to have dyslexia, or things like that. To hell, tell them to go to Connacht and stay in Connacht. But anyway, thank you for watching. I hope I'm just kind of talking, because I wanted to talk about things, because so many people have said it to me, and I've kind of I kind of give them the medicine to kind of shut up, I suppose you could say, because I put them in their place so terribly that they have nothing else to say to me, because they looked at my YouTube channel like, well, feck, like, this fella is above and beyond the Call of Duty. Like, that's what one of them said to me. Like, he was giving out to me one day, and then he came back to me the next day and was like, well, I was wrong about you, my good man. And he was like, you came from hell and back, I suppose you could say. And, now we talk to each other. Like, that's the best thing about it. And he has loads of respect for me, and I have loads of respect for him. Like, and that's because I told him, what would you do? As simple as that. What would you do if you were in my situation? What would you do? Just keep answering it. He couldn't answer me, because I said it 3 times to him. I put pressure on him to answer, and he couldn't do it. He couldn't answer me. Anyway, take watching. Subscribe more. And bye.